On today's show, science has figured out how to make a robot even more terrifying by giving it robot snake legs.
The interview will be available to view this Christmas, and we're going to tell you how to see it.
And a group of animators is bringing really old, ancient artifacts to life, and it's awesome. It's Tomorrow Daily.
There it is.
Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Skether. Joining me, as always, Santa Kale.
It's almost Christmas.
You're getting jacked on Christmas time right
I
now.
hope I get a lot of cool stuff.
Well, you already bought it all for yourself, right?
Yeah. I said I wanted a Raspberry Pi. I want an iPhone 6 Plus.
Okay.
I want a lot of electronics. There's like a whole bunch of lists up on CNET's like channel.
You're like, I'll take that.
And I was watching them, and I'm like, oh no, there's no way I'm gonna get all this stuff.
No.
But then we have CES coming up. Don't forget, everybody, we got CES coming up.
Christmas too, for those of us in the technology nerdverse. That's like second Christmas because we get to see all the cool stuff, but we can't take. But here's the problem: we can't take any of it home.
Real quick before we get to the stories, there's been a story.
Do we need a myth bust?
Yes. So there's, in case you haven't noticed, there's been this story that's been circulating. You know how it works with Facebook and BuzzFeed. A story that seems a little too good to be true.
It is.
Spreads around. Can you tell us a little about it, Ashley?
So there's a rumor happening that says that there's going to be this planetary alignment on January 5th, and that it's going to mess with the Earth's gravity, and that you're going to be able to jump and stay in the air for 3 seconds instead of the regular 0.2. Which, is insane. And guys, that's debunked.
So there you go. No is the answer.
You can go to Snopes.com and they'll give you all the information. But
because this was previously reported.
Yeah, April 4th of this year, they said it was going to happen. And then, it didn't, of course, because I think we would have all remembered the time where gravity lessened on the planet. And then again on January 5th, because they said, oh, no, it miscalculated. It's January 5th.
But it was like substantiated by like a NASA tweet that maybe somebody faked, or I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been faked. It's on Snopes. Not true, not accurate. Don't try to jump over anybody on January 5th is what I'm saying.
But you might get hurt. But either way, if you didn't know about this, it's kind of fun to see how people fake science stuff and get people to be like, yay, on January 1st, let's all jump. There you go.
2 seconds to research.
Out of the way.
That's all we're saying.
Just wanted to let the Tomorrow Daily people be smarter than.
We're debunkers. Yeah, that's what we're saying. And at your holiday parties and your New Year's Eve parties, if someone brings that up, you're like, not true.
You go wrong.
You can be that guy or girl at the parties.
Splash eggnog on their face. Okay, let's do it. All
right, let's get in the headlines.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't like this.
I know you don't because you hate spiders. So Kale is not a fan of the spider. And, robot spiders are terrifying enough.
You think?
This is really interesting, and I love this video. So this comes from the Biorobotics Lab at Carnegie Mellon University. And they had this DARPA-funded robot, and they gave it 6. It's a hexapod with 6 robot snake legs. And you can see it's on a little leash, but checks out. See, he pushes it with his foot, and it can correct. It's very good at correcting being pushed or being moved. It's extremely versatile and extremely mobile.
Very stable.
Very stable. So the neat thing is that each leg is its own sort of robot. And so they're able to kind of operate not necessarily 100% independently because they all have to work together, but they can each make their own decisions as to like what it needs to do to correct itself. So you can watch it crawling over some debris here that they just threw on the ground, and it does it pretty well, which is just a little bit scary. And also, don't put a Gatling gun on it, is what I'm trying to say here. Don't put or poison darts, just nothing that could maybe attack a person. So yeah, they're saying that potentially, maybe this would be used in the future for rescue robots to be able to go into.
Or space exploration.
There's a lot of different things that they could use it for, and it's just a super fascinating way of putting a robot together. And I saw that video, and I was just like, whoa, like that is intense. Like somebody was just like, we should have snake robot legs to this little robot. I think it would go over really well. Like, and it did, but I'm scared.
I think beyond the legs or whatever, the fact that it can't be disturbed, like you can push it. And they were kicking it.
Yeah, it would be able to really like kind of correct itself. There's a lot of articulation in each of those legs, so really getting over, like we're saying, debris or any kind of obstacle would be relatively easy for it compared to other robots. So we've seen other robots kind of struggle, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I like seeing the video. I like seeing the guy like push it with his foot, and it just is like, bro, forget it.
Where's your spider robot?
Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our scary spider robot.
I like it. I actually like it. I'm cool with it. It only walks. It's not
as long as it's not venomous.
It's not venomous.
It shows up in your shower.
So that's pretty cool.
6 a.m. Okay.
Okay, so here we go. The interview is definitely back on, but in select theaters.
And on VOD.
We don't know VOD yet.
They're saying that they're not. They haven't said exactly what.
So for those of you keeping up, Sony decided just a week ago that they weren't going to release the interview because of North Korea's threats. Well, they decided,
allegedly North
Korea's threats. So they decided, hey, we're cool. We're gonna do it. This is the quote that they have from the CEO of Sony Pictures, Michael Linton. We have never given up on releasing the interview.
Oh, never. I think they did last week.
Yeah, they did.
But continue.
We're excited. Our movie will be in a number of theaters on Christmas Day. So it'll apparently be offered simultaneously on VOD. Of course, Seth Rogen had something to say about it. He said, should I try it, Seth Rogen?
I think you should.
The people have spoken. Oh, this ain't good.
Keep going.
Freedom has prevailed. Sony didn't give up. The interview will be shown at theaters. Willing to play it on Xmas Day. So there you go.
You forgot the laugh. That was not
and then James Franco said, victory, the people and the president have spoken. So there you go.
But the president did speak and called him James Flacco. So that was...
he did not.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
When President Obama when he talked about the Sony, like pulling the interview, when he talked about the Sony decision to pull the interview, he's like, I'm a big fan of Seth Rogen and James Flacco.
Oh man! So
I'm the greatest.
I'm interested to see. So I'm interested to see how many theaters because we haven't gotten a full.
I think right now they said it's like 200, but they said there might be more. They're talking to more theaters, but it will be available. I know the Alamo Drafthouse is definitely showing it. So if you're in Austin, you'll be able to see that.
So I'm interested to see how many of you guys would watch it on VOD. Let me know in the comments, and we'll find out. We're gonna watch it.
And to clear up the air on this, a lot of people have been asking us via email, like, why aren't you guys covering the Sony hack? And I gotta tell you, like, we are fully aware and are always like reading up on what's going on, but we also feel really uncomfortable about the fact that we denounced the iCloud hack as like this is a crime and the people should be held responsible, and anybody who shares these pictures is not cool. Like, it's private data. Like, private data is private data, regardless of whether it's a bunch of D-bags up at Sony, like making terrible jokes and just being jerks, or people who, it doesn't matter if you're a jerk or not. I mean, your privacy is your privacy, and they're a company, and I don't know. I kind of feel gross about
I do not support the fact that the media use this to propel themselves. A lot of sites, a lot of YouTube news channels, they all used it to kind of fuel their views, and they wanted to drop every single little thing, and I wasn't supporting it.
That's an editorial choice. That's an editorial choice, and that's fine. But just
we're not into it.
Like,
we're here for a different. Well, not only that, we're here for a completely different reason. We're here to give you future tech. We're here to kind of fuel your creativity. Yeah. That's why we're here. We want to create conversation.
We keep it positive.
Yeah, we'll keep it positive.
We'll keep it real.
So,
But we just, it's like everyone else covered it.
We appreciate that you wanted us to talk about it. We really do.
100%. But just so
we have our thoughts, we have our opinions. Maybe we'll tell them on Twitter or whatever. But the show.
If you find us walking around at CES, you can ask us.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we think. But just generally.
Only for money.
Not for us to really talk about. Yes. And also, like, I don't want to really deep dive into these, like, crazy emails. I've seen a bunch of headlines about, like, oh, Angelina Jolie's, like, fighting with so-and-so.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to deal with that.
That's just the way it goes.
Just let it die.
Just let it die.
Let it go away.
So there you go. Thank you for asking.
And on that note, here's story 3, which I think is so cool.
We're getting so distracted today. Go ahead.
I know. Kale hasn't seen this video, and I'm really excited to show it to him. So this is from an animator named Steve K. Simmons and an ancient Greek history expert named Sonia Nevin. They work together to take ancient artworks on vases and other things in Greek culture, and they animate them and bring them to life. So check out this video. So that's
wow.
That's an actual vase that they took and scanned or recreated as an animation, and they bring them to life and show you different kind of just ways of that the Greeks might have been, like, which is really cool. And they have all kinds of different ones. They have ancient Olympics. They have Clash of the Dicers, which is what you're watching now. This is it's a dice game, you know, it's like something cool. And then Well-Wishers, Every Soldier, which is kind of like a war sort of thing. And then they have a few more, and it's just really, really neat. And if you have any interest at all in ancient history and that sort of thing, it's just really fun to watch and sort of see these images come to life via Panopoly's website.
It's a fun way to get into the sort of art.
Yeah.
This is very
and if
unique
maybe you have kids or a little brother or sister who might want to see something like that, like this is really fascinating to me. I believe there's a few in each category. So they have a few animations in each category. Here's one called The Runners, but they take just a fragment of the art, and then they animate it, which is so cool. And I just thought that was super fascinating, and I love the idea of this sort of being a future way of preserving history. Like we have these like sort of animations of things that we used to have.
I'm gonna go ahead and say what somebody is already gonna mention.
Go.
Hercules.
Yeah, it reminds me of Hercules with all the muses
movie,
on the vases.
But this is a really cool thing to do with
history. It's so creative. You can go over to panopoly.org.uk and you can check out everything. So, and Panopoly is Panoply. So check that out. It's super cool. You are missing a lot of visuals on this show if you're just listening today. Like there's the robot, and then also these animations are really, really neat. So I suggest you check them out. But on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We have a lot of new releases, including the interview, obviously, and it's our last new releases of the year. And then we have your user feedback, and of course our phone talker for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. We are here. It's our last Tuesday of the year that we'll be here. I hope you guys are going to miss us next week. We'll be on vacation. But, for now, I think it's time to check out one of our favorite parts of the week, which is all the new releases. So first up, as Kale mentioned, the interview. The interview will be in select theaters. I saw some people tweeting this morning saying, even though it's coming out, it's still not showing in a theater within 100 miles of me. So that might be the case for you, but even if it is, the likelihood of VOD, we're hearing rumors, as of right now, as of the taping of this show, we're hearing rumors that Sony has been talking to VOD outlets and telling theaters they will be releasing it VOD the same day that it will be released theatrically. So hopefully you'll be able to see it.
They might as well.
They must. I gotta say they must.
Because if only select theaters
if it's only 200 theaters, there's no point in that.
So there you go.
So there's that. One of my favorite childhood frustrating games, Duck Hunt, is now available for the Wii U Virtual Console. You can now go.
Well, how do you?
I think you just use. I would imagine with the gamepad, maybe you could do it, or you tap on the ducks.
You could do the
the controller. Yeah. And you can angrily but ineffectively shoot at the dog, or if you're really feeling like you need vengeance from the dog who laughs at you, you can go over into Super Smash Brothers and kick his face in, which makes me feel a lot better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
it's just really cathartic. All those years, I finally am able to beat up the Duck Hunt dog. And then I thought this was awesome. So apparently, Temple Run VR is now available for free. For the Samsung Gear VR. So if you have a Note or a Note Edge, a Note 4 or a Note Edge, you were able to, in first person, do Temple Run. You can play Temple Run. It looks really cool.
It looks really good.
It makes me want to go get all those things and try it.
That's a lot of things.
It is a lot of things, but it looks really neat, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about kind of this sort of thing. Like we're going to start seeing kind of VR games hit app stores and different things like that, which is pretty fun. But yeah, so it's Temple Run VR. Again, it's free. You just pick it up. Yep. Pretty awesome. And then in theaters, just like the interview on Christmas Day, we are going to see Big Eyes, which was not...
Oh, yeah. Tim Burton.
Yes, are you holding the CNET logo?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, sorry.
Big Eyes is Tim Burton's newest flick. It is based on a true story about Margaret Keane, who was the kind of creator of these paintings with, kids with big eyes and all this stuff, and it became kind of this phenomenon. It was kind of a kitschy sort of fad that caught on. It was very, very popular. And then, but what happened was her husband at the time was a con man and took credit for all her work because it just said Keane. And so he took credit for it, and Christoph Waltz plays.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Amy Adams or Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, and it looks fun, it's colorful, looks interesting. Like I'm curious about it. I think it might be really good. I know Tim Burton has kind of been a little uneven, like over the last maybe 10 years or so.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that Big Fish, this is like a Big Fish.
This seems more like a Big Fish as opposed to, a kind of whimsical, obviously a whimsical Alice in Wonderland or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I was one of maybe 2 people on the planet that was on the fence about this movie. Everybody seems pretty excited, but you convinced me that it's an interesting story.
Well, it's based on a true story, and one of my favorite things about this movie, a fun little tidbit that I read, which is true, is there's a courtroom scene. Obviously, they have to go to court to work all this stuff out, and that happened in real life as well. And apparently, it was so over the top, the real life courtroom situation, that when they were filming the courtroom situation, Tim Burton asked Christoph Waltz to tone it down, and they were just and the writers were like, no, it was even worse than what we wrote in the script. It was even crazier than what we wrote. So, I highly recommend just looking up the story anyway, and if you see it, you can sort of check out what the creative liberties were with the story. But I found that very interesting.
I'm interested now.
And then, and then lastly, next week, A Most Violent Year is going to hit theaters. This is Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain. It looks really good and really kind of dark and
good thing that doesn't come out on Christmas.
No, I think this is a really good New Year's movie. Really, really fantastic. It just looks good. I love Jessica Chastain. Obviously, Oscar Isaac is in the new Star Wars film if you're into IMDb. But I like Oscar Isaac a lot. He was great in that Coen Brothers flick. What's that one? I forget. Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lead in that movie, and he was so good in it. And of course, Jessica Chastain is fantastic.
Always
and then
good.
also Halo 5 multiplayer beta is going to start sometime the next, I think, week or so.
Oh, yeah.
So on Xbox One. I didn't put that in the notes, but I just remembered it right now.
Got to get on that somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, you're going to have to come out. You come over to my house, and we'll play Halo 5.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. You're
really
in it? You're in the beta?
I don't know. I'm sure I could try.
Oh.
Do you have to sign up? Do you have to do something? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
You just got to have friends.
Yeah, well,
they have friends that are in
high places, not low places.
Okay.
Okay, well, on that note, let's hit up your user feedback. So first off, I have to let you know, we actually got either a tweet or an email from somebody, and I am a terrible person, and I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
But they said a lot of the trash, you would burn it off. It would burn off in the atmosphere on reentry. So maybe they would throw it back into the
back
atmosphere
at Earth
and then let it burn up. So that's interesting. I thought that was a really good. That's a really good idea.
It's a good idea.
Okay, so we asked you guys to use the hashtag TDTrash and tell us what you'd want to see floating around in the sky, or what we'd be cleaning up in any sci-fi universe. And you guys came up with some good ones. Sean wrote to us and said, "The Lost Tomorrow Daily blooper reel somehow is floating above our heads."
You're never gonna see it.
Never gonna see it. We are not in that blooper reel.
No, we're not.
George wrote to us and said, agreed with Kale and said Luke Skywalker's right hand.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be so weird. Tony wrote to us.
Doing this.
Tony wrote to us. Yeah, it's like, hey guys, it's just thumbs up right through space.
Good.
Chewbacca says, "What happens in space stays in space."
Play Wookiee.
Which made me laugh. That was really funny.
That was good.
And then Matt wrote to us and said, "We may find a white round object with a glowing orange eye that seems to be very interested in space."
Space.
Now,
space.
Do you know what that's from? Because
space.
I needed about 10 seconds to think about it.
Space. You gotta go to space.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Of course. It's from Portal 2.
Portal 2.
Yeah.
Wheatley. Everybody's favorite robot.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
Gotta go to space.
That's great. Love it.
So yeah, I loved the Wheatley reference. That was delightful. Your hashtag of the day today, we are actually it's gonna take a couple weeks, or actually no, it's tomorrow. TD Best of 2014. I'm sorry, that's tomorrow's hashtag. It's tomorrow's hashtag. I'm getting ahead of myself. TD Best of 2014. We want to hear from you guys. What's your favorite tech stories? What is your favorite pop culture stuff? What is your favorite video game of the year? We want to know what your choices are.
I am very interested to hear what their favorite stories were.
A lot of good ones already.
I even had to do a lot of research, but honestly, it's going to be whatever one surfaced on your brain that you maybe told other people, or that made you look up other things.
Or that you got really excited about.
I'm not going to spoil mine.
Number one, I won't spoil mine either.
But I have kind of a theme on mine.
Yeah.
So
mine was one singular event, and I think it was good.
Okay, yeah. It could be like, anything that happened with NASA. It can be any of the future tech. It could be something that somebody printed out.
The toilet exhibition in Tokyo. Whatever you want. It's totally fine. You weren't here for that. That was one of our earliest shows. There was an exhibition in Japan about the toilet, the history of the toilet, and part of it was there was a 15-foot tall toilet that you walked into a room and there was a giant toilet, and then you picked up a little hat and it was a poop. And you put it on your head, and then it was a slide. You slid under the toilet, and then you could learn about like plumbing and stuff.
Did you say Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Of
course it was. But really, it was extremely enlightening for a lot of people who went there and learned about the history of the toilet.
Yep.
So anyway, TD Best of 2014, that's your hashtag. Do that up, and let's talk about our very last piece of user feedback, which is, of course,
your user feedback.
No, our photographer of the day.
Wow.
Okay, so this is from Sean S. He took this with his Galaxy S5.
Whoa, what is that?
Okay, so he explains. He says, "Hi guys, big fan of the show, have been supporting it since day one. I haven't submitted any photos to be featured on the show as I didn't think I had any photos worth sharing. I found this photo, that being said, I recently found this photo that I took with a Nexus 5. We'll correct that. It was taken on 11/11/14 at the Tower of London. 888,246 ceramic poppies flooded the tower in order to remember the soldiers who lost their lives in the Great War over 100 years ago. It was a truly humbling experience. I wish both and all of the behind-the-scenes crew a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year."
That's fantastic. I've never seen
How
an image of this.
gorgeous is that? I've been to the tower and I loved it. It was amazing, but I hadn't seen it like this. So I think I saw some pictures on social media of people taking photos of this, but not at night like this. And that is just stunning.
Very cool.
And what a great memorial. Like what a beautiful sort of poignant way to honor those who fought in that war.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's
really amazing.
That's very
nice
neat.
job. You're definitely Kale's new favorite.
You are my favorite, so.
People are now emailing saying they're hoping that they're my favorite.
Doesn't matter.
And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well.
Because I'm tougher to impress. Kale's an easy date.
All you have to do is
show many photography.
No,
and he's
all
like,
anybody
that's
has
my
to do
favorite.
is be like, hey, by the way, great, I love the show.
Kale's the
also,
best.
love point and click adventures.
No, not at all.
And then
no
you'd
way.
be like, oh, you're my favorite. Or
not true.
Love little Italian greyhounds.
Well, if you send a picture of an Italian greyhound, that would be my favorite. Because I love Italian greyhounds.
I think someone should Photoshop our heads and replace them with Italian greyhound heads.
Okay, there you go. There's your moment.
Somebody's gonna waste so much time.
My dog is an Italian greyhound, and I'm sorry, Jenna Marbles, but I had an Italian greyhound first. She has Kermit and Marbles, and both of my dogs are an Italian greyhound and a Chihuahua. So everyone always goes, "Oh, you got them because Jenna Marbles has them." I'm like, no, my dogs are older than her dogs. I've had them for longer. I just have decided not to exploit them on social media until I realized how cute Bailey was, and then I just put
Your
her
dog's
on
not a
all the time.
sellout, so that's cool.
He's not. No, Bailey is a total sellout.
Oh, he's.
Yeah, Chili Willy, maybe not so much.
Okay, yeah,
but yeah,
he's
those two are.
He's indie.
Yeah, he's super underground, super underground. But yeah, so that's our photographer of the day. Sorry about the mix-up on the Galaxy S5 Nexus 5 thing. We'll fix it in post. If you guys want to submit your photography to be considered for CES, because that's the next time you might see.
So this is gonna be on stage at CES.
On stage live at CES.
All right, right on. Let's
feel
see what
free
you
to
got.
email us tomorrow at cnet.com. Bring your A plus game. Make it good. And then no, it's not nearly enough.
Yeah, you're right,
and if you want to send us your user feedback, you can do that via email. If you absolutely hate email, that's cool because we're on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+. And we also have a Tumblr, tomorrowdaily.tumblr.com, where we will show off photographers and have a link to the show notes and stuff.
That for sure. And then also, if you're trolling around YouTube like me, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and give a like for Ashley, and then leave a comment for me, because I'm gonna
make a thumbs up like Luke's severed hand in space.
And also, if you're listening, thank you for listening. I actually, I that's a fun thing to do. I actually did that the other day.
Listen to it?
Yeah, but I talked back to me and told me that I was dumb. But anyway, and don't forget to rate and, I don't know, like
rate, review us on iTunes, all that stuff. Do all the things. If you want to find us individually on Twitter, you can do that too. I'm at Ashley Esqueda.
And I'm at Kale Anonymous.
And that's it for the show. We're going to be back tomorrow with our best of 2014. Just our own personal opinions as to what the coolest stuff of the year is. And you guys, of course, TD Best of 2014 is your hashtag. But until tomorrow, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye.